Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Today I'm going to discuss masdar. I know we have talked about masdar in the past, but today we are going to go into details in an attempt to try to remove any ambiguities in our concept of masdar. So what is masdar? I have been saying that masdar is the name of the action of the verb. It's not that I have been saying, but that's actually what it is. It is the name of the action of the verb, or it is action of the verb. However, there is no doer of the action, there is no recipient of the action, and there is no tense or time. It's called waqt in Arabic. So there is no waqt in it. Various translations in English has been offered. The fact is that there is no exact equivalent of masdar in English. The translations are verbal noun, which is fairly good translation, that it is a noun but there is a verb in it, there is action in it. Infinite or infinitive in English, that's another translation, and gerund, the ing form of the verb. Let us look at gerund. I say working is hard. Al-amalu sa'bun, working is hard. So here working is noun, although there is action of work in it. So it is a ing form of the verb, but when we say working is hard, working is a noun here. On the other hand, if I say I'm working with the government, ana a'malu bil hakumati, so here working is present continuous tense, so it is not noun anymore. So gerund as a definition partly works and partly it doesn't work. What about infinitive? Infinite or infinitive, when we say in English, I want to eat, I like to drink, I forgot to write. So to eat, to drink, to write, we know that that's infinite in English. If I want to say, for example, if I want to use this to followed by the basic form of the verb in English, if I say, for example, I do not like to attend class in the morning, so the translation I have written here, la uhibbu an ahdara saf fi sabahi. La uhibbu, I do not like. An ahdara, to attend, we can translate that saf, class, fi sabahi, in the morning. So what is an ahdara? Actually, if we look literally at it, ahdara is I attend, or I am attending. So we can then translate, I do not like that I attend class in the morning. So there's two ways of translating it, and this an ahdara is combination of this particle an and ahdar, which is a hadara, yahdaru, hudurun is the masdar, and interestingly we can replace an ahdara with hudur. So I can also say in Arabic, la uhibbu huduru saf fi sabahi, I do not like to attend class in the morning. But literally what we are saying here is I do not like the action of attending the class in the morning, or the act of attending the class in the morning. So that's what the masdar is. So an ahdara, to attend, which we have translated it here, which is equivalent to infinite in English, that could be replaced by the proper masdar. And that makes when someone wants to produce good quality prose, high quality, eloquent, elegant prose, they tend to use make a lot of use of masdar in their writing, in their speech. For example, if there is a presidential speech, so the person who is writing would kind of try to make good use of masadar. Masdar is singular and masadar is plural. So masadar in the presidential speech. So hudur is actually masdar. So what is then an ahdara, the infinite? Does that fulfill the definition of masdar? Yes, we can say that it does, because it has come at the place of the masdar. But looking at it, if we literally look at it, the name which has been given in grammar books, if you look at grammar books, this is to attend an ahdara is called al-masdar al-muawwal. Masdar also means, literally means source, and it is actually the original source of verb, for example, and so many other words. So masdar is original, hudur, and an ahdara is interpreted original. So al-masdar al-muawwal from ta'wil means interpretation. So this is actually interpreted original, so which is equivalent to infinitive in English. While we are at this terminology, there's something else called ismul masdar. I've written here masdar al-muawwal, so that's our masdar al-muawwal. Ismul masdar, for example, we say ambata yumbitu imbatun. So madi, mudare, and that is the masdar, which means to make, to sprout. But nabat is also used for the same meaning. So nabat basically is more, it's more like a noun. It's specifically used as a noun. Imbat, on the other hand, because it is classical, we can say classical masdar, and there are connotation of action in it as well. So sometimes, depending on the context, it may be used in verbal meaning, but this will be specifically used as a noun, as ism. And this ismul masdar tends to have less letters compared to the verb. So bata is the basic form of the verb, and if we see the number of letters are here equal to that, but here we're missing this first hamza. So so ismul masdar is used in place of masdar, but it has less number of letters, and it is specifically used as a noun rather than being used in any kind of prose in the meaning of verb. Similarly, tallaka yutalliku tatlikun is the masdar, madi, mudare, and masdar. Tatlik will be he divorced, he divorces, and the action of divorcing. So that's the masdar here. But talaq is commonly used, which is used purely as a noun. So talaq is ismul masdar here. So what is masdar really? This is a very good example. I looked at this ayah, surah number 31, ayah number 11. Haza khalqullahi. This is Allah's creation. So here the word khalq has been used. Khalaqa yakhluqu khalqun. Khalaqa past, madi, yakhluqu mudare, and khalqun is masdar. So khalq means creation. Here in this ayah, if we look at it, surah number 39, ayah 62, Allahu khaliqu kulli shayin. Here the word khaliq has been used, but then along with the khaliq could be used as an attribute as well, as an adjective attribute, as a sifa. So along with khaliq, kulli shayin, everything. And when masdar is used for creation, khalq, that means all kind of creation. For example, there's another word for creation is makhluk, which basically means, makhluk means what has been created. So makhluk, there are so many kind of makhlukat, which is plural. Humans, one makhluk, animals, birds, then sea life, we have got a lot of makhluk there as well. So makhluk will be one, something which has been created rather than the specific meaning of creation. And second, makhluk could be different kind of makhlukat. So it has got plural, but khalq covers everything. So khalq is creation, which is everything which has been created. And in this ayah, after saying this, this and this, in this ayah Allah used khalq, specifically denoting the fact that Allah is the only creator. No other person or entity can or has created anything. So that's why the word khalq has been used, which is masdar, and it is the most general word possible has been used to denote the fact that Allah is the only creator. Makhluk, on the other hand, as I said, it is something which has been created, and then there is plural as well. And masdar covers, because masdar covers everything, so masdar doesn't have a plural. Masdar is already huge and massive. So whenever we will see masdar anywhere in any good prose or in Quran, masdar doesn't have plural. But noun, ism, when we differentiate masdar from ism, isms tends to have plural as well, but masdar doesn't. Let us look at the definitions. What is fail, what is ism, and what is masdar? That is going to help us to further clarify the concept of masdar. For example, in fail, if I can put a circle around it, around fail. So what is fail? Fail is action. There is a doer of the action, and if the fail is, if the verb is transitive, there will be recipient of the action as well. And then there is a time, waqt. There is a tense in it. So there are 3 or 4 different things in fail. But the fail tends to be temporary, transient activity. For example, if I say I'm drinking, so I'm drinking water, so the action of drinking is going to finish soon. I drank water, the action of drinking is already finished. And if I say I'm going to drink water, the action has not started yet. So it tends to be, in other words, we can say the area of influence of fail tends to be small and limited. Its remit tends to be limited. Its area of action tends to be limited. And when we look at ism, ism does have action in it, and there will be doer of the action, but no verb, no tense. For example, if I say driver, if I say driver is driving or somebody is driving, so the action of driving is gonna finish at some point in time. Action is something, fail is something which comes, goes, but it's short-lived. So on the other hand, if I say driver, so driver is more permanent entity. Driver, if someone is driver today, he's going to be driver tomorrow as well. They're not going to stop being driver tomorrow or day after tomorrow or in a month's time. They will remain driver. So basically that means, although ism has action in it, but it is more persistent, more permanent entity. So ism is, area of influence of the ism is much bigger compared to fail. Now what about masdar? Ism has action in it, fail in it, and doer of the action. Masdar is only action. there is no doer of the action, and certainly there is no tense. So then masdar we can circle like this. That's our masdar. So masdar does have, it's bigger than fail and bigger than ism, and because ism and fail both have action, this also have action, so action is all around there. So it is much bigger entity. And because masdar is already massive and extensive, and that's why, as we said earlier, masdar does not have plural. I said earlier that masdar literally meaning source, and it is source of the verb, but masdar tends to be source of many other words as well. If we look at this example here, kitabatun is a masdar. Kataba yaktubu, kataba he wrote, yaktubu he writes, or he will write, or he is writing, and kitabatun is masdar. And this is our source, our original source of our different words. And from here we have kataba, he wrote, yaktubu, he writes or he will write. So these are two verbs. Katibun, writer, writer of anything. For example, if I have written a small paragraph on a piece of paper, so I'm katib, I have written it. Maktub is something which has been written, like makhluk, which has been created, something which has been created. Maktub is something which has been written, and this is quite often used for letter, because letter is something which has been written, and the books are written as well, but quite often maktub is used in Arabic for letter. Kattabun, though katibun is writer, kattabun is author, who writes quite a lot. So kattabun is writer, origin is kitaba. Maktabun, it is meaning is quite often used for office or for desk as well. And what happens in office or desk? A lot of writing takes place. And then maktabatun is another word derived from kitaba, and that means the institution, university, college, madrasa, and that is the place where a lot of action of writing takes place. So basically, kitaba has the action of writing in it, and all these words are to do with writing, though they have their own meaning, but then all have to do, even if office is to do something with writing, that could also be called library, maktab. And maktabatun especially could be called library, that's office or desk. So all these words have something to do with writing, and that's why their origin is from kitaba. So we can see masdar is general large entity. It has got it will have, because it has got generality in it, it will include all these words in it, in its area of influence or in its area of action. So masdar tends to be something which is big. We said if fail is temporary, short-lived activity. Its area of influence is very small, and ism is more permanent. And there is a very good example here in this ayah, Surah Baqarah, ayah number 14. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. So this is about hypocrites. When they meet believers, they say, آمَنَّا, we believe. And وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ, when they are with their devil friends, قَالُوا, they say, إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ, we are indeed with you, إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ, we are just mockers. So hypocrites, basically, they were not believers, they were mockers. That's what they were doing, that's what they were, hypocrites. So when they say we believe, verb has been used here, because this is temporary. They were not really believers, so it's temporarily they become believer, basically. So the verb has been used here in Quran in their words, that they say we believe, amanu. And when the mu'minin has not been used, it's not that wazalakullazina nahnu mu'minina, which will be known, which will be then permanent thing. But here known has been used, innama nahnu mustahzi'un, we are mockers, and that's their reality, that's their permanent state or status. So this is what they are. So in Quran, noun has been used here and verb has been used here to exactly portray the state of hypocrites when they're at different places. Here the alternative may have been innama nahnu nastahzi'una. The verb could have been used, but verb was not used, noun was used here. Oh yeah, there is masdar here, that's why I brought this ayah here. This is ayah number 7 of Surah Baqarah. Khatamallahu ala qulubihim wa ala samihim wa ala absarihim gishawatum wa lahum azabun azim. Seal has been put on their hearts. Qulub, qalb is singular, qulub is plural. So ala qulubihim, qalbun, qulubun is plural. From qulubun, when it becomes mudaf, tanween goes, and because of ala, qulubun will become qulubin or qulubi, and because whom, this is basically whom has got kasra before it becomes him. There are two, whom and him are the same thing. So khatamallahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim, and on their hearing or the ability to hear. Sami'a yasma'u sam'un is masdar. So this is noun for which plural has been used. Sam'ihim, sam'un is masdar, and because of ala it will become sam'in. Due to being mudaf it will lose its tanween, and again whom will become him due to kasra before it. So here the word which is masdar has been used perhaps to include anything which is to do hearing for them. And wa ala absarihim gishabatun, and there is a curtain on their eyes or on their sight. And here again it's plural. Basarun is singular and absarun is plural, and that's another part of the ayah. So just think of this masdar which has been used here compared to noun here and noun here. Another thing which is quite interesting here is that ayah is not a sentence. Ayah is a unique entity in which one ayah may have many sentences, and many sentences can combine to become one ayah. Here we have 3 sentences. Khatamallahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim. So this is jumla failure, and there is a bit of stop here when we recite, or when in Quran you will see this little full stop here, and this is a separate sentence, wa ala absarihim gishabatun, which basically this jumla failure starts with fail. This is jumla ismiya, but the mubtada has been delayed here. Its default form will be gishabatun ala absarihim. So gishabatun mubtada, ala absarihim jar majroor, and that will be khabar. So mubtada has been delayed, and khabar here is muqaddam has been brought earlier. Mubtada is muakhir, and that happens in good quality prose and poetry, etc. as well, just to make the your speech more attractive. And then after this waw, which is this waw is waw atif, but this waw is actually waw istinafiya, which basically means this is another sentence. Lahum azabun azim, which is azabun azim lahum. Azabun azim, big punishment, huge punishment. So this is mawsuf, this is sifa, they combine to become mubtada muakhir, and then jar majroor khabar muqaddam. So we have 3 sentences here in this ayah. On the other hand, many ayahs combine to make a large sentence. A good example is, for example, Surah Falak. We read or recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falak min sharri ma khalaq wa min sharri ghasikin idha waqab wa min sharri nafasati fil uqad wa min sharri hasidin idha hasad. So there are many ayahs in this small surah. Actually, this is one surah, and these many ayahs combine to make a large sentence. I hope today's discussion has helped to clarify the concept of masdar. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.